Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamunatira Vanachari. Jamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamunatira Vanachari. Jamunatira Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Sri Radha Madhava ki, Sri Radha Giridhari. Jayo Vishnu Bhad Paramahamsa Paribrajaka Jaja Shuddha Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace Sabai A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Jayo Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Paribrajaka Jaja Shuddha Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Samvira Bhakti ki jai. Go Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories assembled devotees. All glories assembled devotees. All glories, all glories. C.C. Guru and Sri Gauranga. Okay. Hare Krishna. Who set up the water this morning?
Oh, it's my fault. I used some of the water for one of the boxes.
No. What it is, be careful. There's tulsi leaves in there. Sometimes when you take the tulsi leaf, it gets stuck in your throat. Now, it could be your plan to have a short class. So, if you want to sabotage the class, put some tulsi leaves in there, and then the speaker, I can't speak anymore. Yeah, So, I mean, we can be better than that, but still, if you want a long class, just it's wonderful, but just sometimes that happens. You get a Tulsi in there, and okay, it's good.
Still in there?
No, it's in my throat.
Oh.
It's going to be a short class today. It's going to be a very short class. Okay, so this morning we're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto. Excuse my cold. The 3rd chapter, this is text 26. Gajendra is speaking, praying. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Soham Vishva Srijam Vishvam Avishvam Vishva Vedasam Vishvatmanam Ajam Brahma Pranato Smi Param Padam Soham Vishva Srijam Vishvam Avisham Vishvavedasam Vishvatmanam Ajam Brahma Pranatosmi Param Padam Soham Vishva Srijam Vishvan Avishvam Vishvavedasam Vishvatmanam Ajam Brahma Pranatosmi Param Padam Soham Vishva Srijam Vishvam Avishvam Vishvavedasam Vishvatmanam Ajam Brahma Pranatosmi Param Padam. Would like to chant? Vishvam Vishvam Ladies?
Soham Vishva Srijam Vishvam
Soham Vishva Srijam Vishvam
Avishvam Vishvavedasam
Avishvam Vishvavedasam
Vishvatmanam Ajam Brahma
Vishvatmanam Ajam Brahma
Pranatosmi Param Padam.
Pranatosmi Param Padam.
Anyone else? Online?
Soham Vishvam
Oh, Hare Krishna.
Soham Vishva
Vishvam
Avishvam Vishvavedasam
Avishvam Vishvavedasam Vishvatmanam Ajam Brahma Pranatosmi Param Padam. Online? Synonyms. Saha, that. Aham, I. The person desiring release from material life. Vishva Srijam, unto him who has created this cosmic manifestation. Vishvam, who is himself the whole cosmic presentation. Avishvam, although he is transcendental to the cosmic manifestation. Vishvavedasam, who is the knower or ingredient of this universal manifestation. Vishva Atmanam, the soul of the universe. Ajam, who is never born, eternally existing. Brahma, the supreme. Pranataha, Asmi, I offer my respectful obeisances. Param, who is transcendental. Padam, the shelter. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Now fully desiring release from material life, I offer my respectful obeisances unto that Supreme Person who is the creator of the universe, who is himself the form of the universe and who is nonetheless transcendental to this cosmic manifestation. He is the supreme knower of everything in this world, the supersoul of the universe. He is the unborn, supremely situated Lord. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Purport. Sometimes, when Bhakti Yoga, Krishna consciousness is preached to the common man, people argue, where is Krishna? Where is God? Can you show him to us? In this verse, the answer is given that if we are sufficiently intelligent, we must know that there is someone who has created the entire cosmic manifestation, who has supplied and has become the ingredients for this cosmic manifestation, who is eternally existing, but who is not within the cosmic manifestation. Simply on the basis of this suggestion, one can offer respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord. This is the beginning of devotional life. Hare Krishna. Om Agyantimarandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshulunminitam Dena Taismai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Dena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadandikam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Banchika Patru Paschya Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. By your good wishes and prayers, I will try to say a few words. Now, fully desiring release from material life, I offer my respectful obeisances unto that Supreme Person who is the creator of the universe, who is himself the form of the universe, and who is nonetheless transcendental to this cosmic manifestation. He is the supreme knower of everything in this world, the super soul of the universe. He is the unborn, supremely situated Lord. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. So the purport Prabhupada dedicates to answering questions that Prabhupada says, a common man. I think the bar gets lower and lower as the years go by, doesn't it? Yeah, common. It's like, whoa. So, but still, common man. In other words, one who's not trained in transcendental knowledge, asks this question. And on one hand, it's a valid question. Where is Krishna? Where's God? Can you show him to us? If you're talking about, if you're making a presentation on anything, people want some proof. Show me. Right? Just like there's one state in the United States, it's called the Show Me State. You know what that is? Missouri. There's not much there to show you, though. But anyways, you ask anyone here from Missouri? I've asked people from Missouri why they call it the Show Me State. You know why? Because they're like, they really want some proof. They're like hagglers and all that. So, okay, come on, show me. That's what they call it. There's nothing like there's something beautiful there. There's the arch, right, in St. Louis? But that's about it. Nothing else. So it's really their nature. That's what I was told. People from Missouri will tell me that. So come on, show me. You know, prove it. Okay. So it's not an invalid question. One shouldn't challenge, though. And Prabhupada's making the point, though, that if one's sufficiently intelligent, a little observant. Intelligence, you could say, means observant. You know, intelligence sometimes defined as to know who is what, like that. There's this whole cosmic manifestation around us, very, very complex, amazing, beautiful. So many different descriptions are there. And to not at least theoretically accept that there must be an intelligent person behind it, that's not very intelligent. And examples given, sometimes the example given about a clock, right? You're making that clock, and it's telling the time and all the different gears and everything, and someone says, no one made it. No, it's keeping the time and everything. Someone must have made it. There's some complexity there. There must have been some intelligence and design behind it. So wherever we see design and complex things acting, Sariputta says there's intelligent action. What's known as intelligent? Just like there's action of the waves coming and crashing on the beach. That's an action. But intelligent action means when obviously there's some purpose behind it, and it's so complex. There must be some, I don't know who, but someone intelligent must have designed it. Just like who designed the inside of this temple room? Raise your hand if you know her name. Okay, that's one person. Her name. Yes. What was her name? Yeah. I just forgot it. Kirtika. Yeah, when I came here in 1977. Well, we used to call her Kirtika. It's probably Kirtika, properly in Sanskrit. But a gifted artist, wonderful artist. And maybe 20 years ago, she was in San Francisco, interior decorator. Very, very talented. But when I came here, this was a cement box, cement floor, and nothing was on the walls, and they were just starting making the molds and everything and designed the Los Angeles, the Fate Museum. Some of the stuff is from the devotees up there helped design some things and made the molds. And there was a garage. A few blocks up the street, there was a garage. And in that garage, devotees were pouring plaster and making the molds. And they had the molds for some years in these trunks. Oh, that one. Yes. I'm talking about the relief work and so on. So someone say, no one designed it. Now, come on. Just because you don't know who designed it doesn't mean no one designed it. Obviously, someone designed this. Look at it. And in comparison to even one cell in our body, it's very, very simple. So it's an argument. It's a logical step, that there must be someone of great intelligence and ability to create this world, to design it. And also not just the design, but the ingredients, the ingredient cause. All the different elements, bhumi rapo, nalo vayu, all the different elements are there. And then the soul, consciousness. It's quite an arrangement. And to deny that there is some intelligence behind it, that takes some faith too. Doesn't it? Stupidity. I guess there's intelligent faith and stupid faith. But there's faith. Because neither the neophyte aspirant nor the atheist is directly seeing Krishna. Both have faith. I have faith that Krishna is not there, and someone else has faith that Krishna is there. Okay, but which one is an intelligent faith and which one is not so intelligent? Okay, so that's the question. So Prabhupada is making the point here in the purport. Therefore, even those who don't have realization of God, or really even know who God is, they can still offer their respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord. There must be that Supreme God there. So that brings around to the point where Gajendra is here. And fortunately, he knew two things. Who the Supreme Lord is and what you should ask for. That's coming out in the pastime of Gajendra. Yesterday's verse especially was elaborated even more. That he says, now fully desiring release from material life. Okay, I want to get out of this material world. Very, very intelligent. I want to get out. Most people, even if they're religious, they want to stay in this material world, but to have a good time. Right? That's the goal of, you could say, religion or mundane religion. I want to stay in this world. I want to have a good time. God help me. God help me enjoy in this material world. You created it for our enjoyment. I don't know where Krishna ever says that in the Bhagavad Gita. I created the material world. In this, yes and no. Yes and no. It's on an unlimited basis, okay? But to know that the supreme goal of life is to get out, and then who are you going to ask? Who are you going to ask? It's like in Hinduism or Vedic culture, you have so many devatas, and they're very, very powerful, and they can give so many different benedictions. So many different blessings are there. That's why people go to the temple and they pray. And some people aren't really sure who to pray to. Just like sometimes when I do pujas, I say, well, who's your Ishtadeva? Who's the dearmost son? They say, what's Ishtadeva? They say, what's an Ishtadeva? Okay, Ishtadeva is that person you pray to in happiness and distress. You pray to. And a lot of times they'll go, well, let's just worship them all, just in case. This one, that one, this one. I said, well, there's 33 million demigods. I don't really have room on this tray here for all of them. So pick one. So, who to pray for, who to pray to, and what are you going to get? Is it all the same? It's not. There's that story about the very, very pious Hindu man. He would always go to the temple and worship all the different gods. He didn't want to miss anyone. Someone told me that last year sometime. This one woman said, I don't want to miss anyone. That's what I told her. There's 33 million of them, so we got a problem here. So why don't you just worship Krishna? We had a little talk, and she agreed with me. But anyways, he'd go every day, very pious, praying Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and Chandra, and this one, and that one, and Surya, and Ganapati, and so on. And then the monsoons came, and he actually was crossing the river, and a boat he was on tipped over. So he's in the river, he's drowning. So he's thinking, what am I supposed to do? So he calls out, oh Mahadev, Lord Shiva, save me, save me. And Lord Shiva hears his prayer, starts coming, but he's not patient enough. He goes, that didn't work. Durga, 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 save me, save me, save me. And Durga heard, she goes to save him, and he just said, that wasn't fast enough. Ganesh, save me, Ganesh, save me, save me. And Ganesh starts coming, and Chandra, save me, save me. So he could call all these demigods, and finally he drowned. He drowned. It's like, he's just calling out everyone, but, So, who are you going to call? And again, who are you going to call, and what are you going to ask for? Because they are divine personalities. They can give so many different blessings. But Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Antapatupalam te sham. All their benedictions and blessings are temporary. So an intelligent person is not really interested. So alpa, not so smart, not so sharp. What is it? Maharaj says, the offering one prep short on the altar, or the dimmest light bulb, and there's something like that. So not too sharp, because they can only give something of this world. Just like in the Bhagavatam, there's that discussion about why is it the devotees of Lord Shiva have so much opulence. The devotees of Lord Shiva are seen as very, very opulent. And the devotees of Vishnu are poverty-stricken, practically speaking. Now, why? Now, Vishnu is the Supreme Lord, the Lord of Vaikuntha. His consort is Lakshmi herself, yet his devotees are really struggling in the material world. Whereas Lord Shiva is very powerful. He has Durga, she's material energy personified. So many blessings are there. But is it really a blessing? That's right. He looks like he's poverty-stricken. Lives under a tree, ashes all over his body. So it seems contradictory. Vishnu is the Lord of Vaikuntha, palatial and spiritual world. And so what's going on here? What's going on is the real benediction is freedom from material existence and returning back home, back to Godhead. So this is coming out in the story. Gajendra at first, obviously, is in a very difficult situation, and he's asking to be released. Then he realizes the real release is, I'm not interested in just getting free from this crocodile who's grabbing me and who's going to kill me. I just want to get completely free and go back home, back to Godhead. So who am I going to ask? I have to ask someone who's transcendental to this material world. Otherwise, I won't get out. If I myself am not transcendental, how can I help someone else transcend? That's the point. So the devatas, they can give so many amazing blessings and benedictions, but it's only for happy life in this material world. Now, there are some very intelligent devatas, and they'll tell you to worship Krishna. Just like the Bhagavatam is full of so many prayers by Lord Brahma, prayers by Lord Shiva, just, directing you, okay, you want to become free from material existence? Worship Krishna, worship Narayan. That will get you. I can't do it. Even Lord Brahma was asked to make Hiranyakashipu want to be immortal, which is a symptom of the soul. He said, can't do it. I'm not immortal. How can I give you immortality? It's impossible. You're asking for something impossible. There's just something I saw. Last week I mentioned about that person telling me really like that writer who was saying the day will come when we can download a person's personality out of their brain, put into a computer, and then load it onto another robot, and you can live eternally that way. But there's just a recent article in physics. Did you see that one? About quantum physics and all that, about how there really is no time or space. It's an amazing phenomena. They are observing the movement of this material nature and molecule particles and so on. So the conclusion was we can live forever because there really is. We're actually outside of time and space. But there's no mention of the soul or a spiritual world. But it was interesting, they can actually understand that there is a dimension beyond time and space just by studying what's going on with all this particles and so on. That was interesting in that sense. But the claim that therefore we're eternal, they don't know who we are.
A month ago, this report that in the military, they have concluded that nobody dies. There's transmigration. Yes. What are they going to use it for? Oh, we'll get out of the body and die and then come back.
So, anyways. Oh yeah, okay, keep that off the microphone. Anyways, I had researched quite a few verses confirming Gajendra's prayer. The two things, understanding what's the most important thing to ask for, and then who you're going to ask for it. Just like if you go for a loan, you got to make sure the institution has that kind of money. You don't ask a poor person on the street, hey, can you loan me $10,000? You got to go to some place who has it and is willing to do it, and more than happy to do it. Not only has it, but is more happy to, So in the same way, Gajendra is very, very intelligent. He's praying. And another significant point here, just as how merciful this eighth canto is showing how merciful Krishna is. And just like in the story of Ajamil, they forgot. They were engaged in devotional service, and then they kind of went away. And then at a certain point, somehow or other, the consciousness came back. Ajamil, he remembered Narayan, and he was given a second chance. Gajendra was a devotee, devotional person, king, and forgot all that, so much so, he actually became an elephant. He's cursed, but he's just covered. You never go to the zoo and see the elephants chanting japa, or at least walking around Tulsi, or they'll do it. There's nothing there, right? They look kind of covered, right? They are covered. That big body, the soul's like it's. I'd say it's a very covered form of life. Elephants.
Elephant never forgets.
Yes. Maybe this is where it came from. Gajendra. There we go. We just solved that. There you go. It comes from the story of Gajendra. It's an age-old, thousands and millions of years old story, Gajendra. So, but somehow the Krishna is so merciful that at the right time he remembered. And he started offering all these prayers in full consciousness. In full consciousness, praying to Krishna to save him, not just from the difficult situation, but from material existence completely. So, we'll end class with a few verses I've chosen. These are two verses from the Mukundamala Stotra. The people, and talking about water and so on, a bunch of some water verses here too, because he's in the water. The people in this vast ocean of birth and death are being blown about by the winds of material dualities. As they flounder in the perilous waters of sense indulgence with no boat to help them, they are sorely distressed by the need to protect their sons, daughters, and wives. Only the boat that is Lord Vishnu can save them. No one else. Dear mind, do not bewilder yourself by anxiously thinking, how can I cross this fathomless and impassable ocean of material existence? There is one who can save you. Devotion, Bhakti. If you offer her to the lotus-eyed Lord, the killer of Narakasura, she will carry you across this ocean without fail. In the Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter, text 6 and 7. Which you may know by me just saying that, but those... I'll just read the translations because of the time. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Prita, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. So Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita is establishing this point that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Nadiradi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna is the Supreme Lord beyond all the devatas and other manifestations, and he is the one who can deliver us. What is his name that means he can deliver us from this material world? Mukunda. Do you know? Yeah, one who gives liberation. Mukunda. That's Krishna. Krishna is Mukunda. There's no other personality who's Mukunda. This is Krishna. Let's see here. 15th chapter, Purushottam Yoga. Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata. And of course we have the conclusion of the Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter. Texts 65 and 66. Always think of me. Manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mama vaishasi satyam te pratijani priyosi me. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. So Krishna is promising it here. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sin-free actions. Do not fear. I don't know of any other, correct me if I'm wrong, really you know the scriptures better than I, is there any other place where any other personality is making these statements? No. Again, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, they can say, if you surrender to Krishna, this will happen, but they don't say, I can deliver you from all sin-free actions. You know, I can bring you back home, back to Godhead. I can bring you out of this material world. They don't make that promise at all. They may promise so many different things. Only Krishna is making this promise. So that's why Gajendra, being very, very intelligent, is praying in this way. There's some other verses, but the time here. So any questions or comments on any of the points that were made? Do you have a microphone? My foot.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for a nice class. So the place of Lord Shiva is Varanasi. I also come from Varanasi. So it is said that Lord Shiva gives liberation. But it is known in Varanasi that like when someone dies in Varanasi, Lord Shiva in the form of Kala Bhairava comes and gives a Tarak mantra. And that Tarak mantra is Ram. So it is. It also supports your point that, like, even Lord Shiva gives the name of Vishnu to liberate someone.
There you go. Wonderful. Yes, Prabhu, microphone.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the class. I have a question. What to say to them who says that I'm not ready to leave this material world, and I need to, how to say?
Got a few things to do. Got a few things.
We understand that this is like not so intelligent choice, but anyway, what we can say to them?
Well, one thing is, whenever you're talking to anyone, you have to find out where they're really coming from. Is that person being thoughtful, intelligent, or just wasting your time? Or, or is they positing that to get a good answer from you? They really want to know, should they leave now or wait or whatever? You know what I'm saying? If someone is, wants to have a mature conversation with you, you say, well, just wait a second. This is the place of birth, disease, and old age, rebirth, and so much suffering. Why do you want to stay here longer? Ask them. You know what I'm saying? In other words, you always want to know when you're talking to someone, do they want to have a serious conversation, or they're just kind of like chatting, or wasting your time? Because Prabhupada said, one devotee asked that. Actually, Burjan tells a story. Prabhupada said that, sooner or later, more or less everyone goes back home, back to Godhead. And everyone's serving Krishna. That was the point Prabhupada was making. Everyone's serving Krishna directly, indirectly. So the thought was, well, it's a lot easier just to serve indirectly. All this getting up early in the morning and chanting and this and that, and, why bother? But Prabhupada said, it depends on how much you want to suffer. Really, it does. Just like if you're in a horrible place, how long do you want to stay? If you want to just stay there, just like prison, you're given parole. What does parole mean? I always took you for someone who did a little time. No? No, okay. You know what parole is? Do you know what parole is? What's parole? What's parole? The word parole. If you're a prisoner and you're good, parole means they let you out early. That's parole. Pearl. Okay. Pearl. Okay. Sorry, a little language barrier here. Parole. That happens in prison. If you're a model prisoner, or if you want to call it that, and you go to the parole board, and they examine everything, and they consider you're no longer a threat to society, we'll let you out. Okay? So you're in for 90 years, Mukunda. Right? You've been, I don't know what you did. You burned the noon offering or something like that. 90 years. Okay. Right, that was his fault, though. Anyway, so you're in for 90 years. So after 20 years, you actually model, and then you go through the parole board. They say, you can leave now. You can go. And you go, I'd rather stay. What can you say? The door's open. You can go. No, I'd rather stay in prison. Huh? 3 hots and a cot. A few years ago, I read this article about the devotees in Bangalore. They were hired to provide prasad in the prison in Bangalore. Prasadam for the meals. And the prasadam was so good they didn't want to leave. The prisoners didn't want to leave. And it was time to go. They wanted to stay. It's like Priya's cooking. So I'm staying. Because they said, I don't want to go. And so I think they stopped the program with devotees cooking prasadam because the prisoners didn't want to go anywhere. This is so good. Krishna prasadam. So, but it's, the point is, in the material world, birth, death, disease, and old age, so much suffering. Why do you want to stay? And if you're thinking, no, I'm really enjoying, that's okay. Just wait.
And also, we can see that sometimes devotees also has same.
No, we all do because we're conditioned. Isn't it amazing? We think this is a wonderful place. Isn't it amazing? That's what Yudhisthira was asked by Yama. Isn't it amazing? It's amazing that somehow or other we are suffering birth, death, disease, and old age, and so many distresses, and so on, and we just want to stay. That is called conditioning. We're conditioned souls. There is, as you said earlier, alpametasa. So we have to be mature. Just like when we're young, whether you want to be talk about a toddler or a teenager, when we're young we make so many foolish mistakes, do so many foolish things which cause so much suffering for ourselves and others. But there is hope that we grow up and become intelligent and mature and not make foolish decisions. So it's a matter of awakening our intelligence to make proper choices. but some or other we're just conditioned. We're just conditioned. So we have to pray like anything that we become purified of these inclinations, or not just inclinations, but deeply rooted. There's a difference between an inclination and deep-rooted material desire. Yeah, it's deep. It's just like when they take out trees. You know, you can cut them down, but then so you got to pay a lot extra for them to rip it out by the root. It's a whole endeavor. Because those roots, you know, sometimes you look at a picture of a tree, all the branches and leaves, the trunk. Underneath, a lot of times that whole root system is about as big as what's up above. Really going down, you know, depending on the tree. It's not easy to get out. So in the same way, our desires are deeply rooted into the experiencing this material world. It goes very, very deep. Fortunately, Krishna and the holy name are much stronger, and they can, you know, uproot all these desires, like the Shinvata Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. But that's why we just and there's two ways to learn. Do you know what the two ways to learn are? Well, that's number two. What's number one? By hearing. We hear, oh yes. And number two is bitter experience. The same truth is there. One learns by hearing and one learns by bitter experience. But you learn like that. So it's a question of how much bitter experience we want to go through. So, microphone?
The holy name Hare Krishna is like medicine.
Very
but,
strong.
Our mind so tricky that he don't allow us to go deep, and he like we chant, but we can't go through these how to say, these obstacles.
Yes. Now, I have a question for you about suffering. Belarus, number 2 and number 3 in the world for suicides. What's going on there? That means it must be a very unhappy place. I'm asking you. You're from Belarus. What do you know about that? It's number 2 and number 3 in the world.
I didn't hear
Suicides.
about it.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it's like no, all this like how to say, past USSR, everywhere almost the same. These situations that is like how to say, this atmosphere is like it press you.
Very oppressive and so on.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not a nice place if people are killing themselves. They're number 2 and number 3 in the world. Suicide. I forget, there's the top 3. And Belarus was either number 2 or number 3. Two out of, you know, so it's pretty amazing. So it means a miserable place. Why would you want, something's going on there. So the material world's a horrible place. Kṛṣṇa, you had a question? Prabhu, yes.
Can you use the mic?
Oh, maybe the mic needs to be turned on.
Sorry. Krishna was born in jail under oppressive regime, but he showed us how to live a life and a positive life and bring about a change. So maybe Belarus needs Krishna. And second thing is because Krishna was born in jail.
Okay.
And we have the example. He led an exemplary life. Second thing is he said about why somebody said that they want to enjoy the world. Then enjoying the world is good, but there is a karma phal, meaning the fruits of your actions are supposed to be bare. And if you don't want fruits of the action to hurt somebody, like if we breathe, we eat something, we can kill a lot of things. Just by eating and existing, we hurt other people. So maybe we should do a prasad, like life with a bhakti life. So it protects your mind and protects your karma. So if somebody wants to live a life and not quit the life, maybe they want to live a life of bhakti.
Exactly. Very good points. We'll end with this one example. As far as enjoying in the material world, one thing is devotees aren't really concerned whether they're enjoying or not enjoying. They want to go engage in devotional service. But as far as material happiness, one accepts material happiness. There is material happiness. There is comfort. No one's, there is happiness. We accept it to the point where it's favorable for devotional service. Because if you don't get enough, it's like salt. If you don't get enough in your subji, what happens? Huh? And if you get too much, same thing. It has to be just the right balance, and that's different for everyone. Some people, is anyone here really known for liking a lot of salt? Sometimes you say, wow, he puts a lot of salt on things, and someone else, that's fine. But it's just different. And here's an example given. If you're going really fast in a car, are you a fast driver? Okay. You're going really fast in a car, and you got to turn around. Now, what happens if you just go like this, 60 miles an hour, and you try to do a U-turn? Yeah, don't do that. Slow down and take your time, and then you make the U-turn. Go around. So in the same way, we're trying to get out of the material world. We hear the message of Krishna. You can't just slam on the brakes, the sense gratification brakes, and keep going in the other direction. You got to slow down. So it takes some time to turn it around and get going in the right direction. So it takes some time. But again, sense gratification is accepted to the point where what we need to be sane and comfortable for the execution of devotional service. And that will vary from person to person. So we don't say, stop, no sense gratification. We need it. You have your body, your mind, our conditioning, but what's favorable for devotional service? That's our sense gratification. So we can end here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.